her friend posted, it's did she pass? Did she not? I really don't know. Another tragedy that is going on was a Dusty taking out his entire family. Now, if you guys seen, there was a man who took out all 8 of his children and shot 2 women. A lot of people have sent this in to me. Let's go over this story. Let me pull up the video.
Some heartbreaking news. Our nation saw its deadliest mass shooting in years when a Louisiana man shot and killed 8 children this morning. Tonight, we're learning more about that gunman, Shamar Elkins, who was the father of 7 of those 8 slain children. Tonight, the community of Shreveport has been left shattered. The children, 3 boys and 5 girls, ranging in age from 3 to 11.
Police say the crime scene spans 2 houses. It ended when officers opened fire on the gunman during a police chase. Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam is live now with new details tonight. Tim?
Liz Jory, we now know the names of the 8 kids shot and killed, and we're also learning that the shooter had ties to the military and was known to police. This is a Facebook image of the Louisiana man law enforcement believe is a cold-blooded killer. Shreveport police identifying him as Shamar Elkins, the alleged gunman who shot and killed 8 kids. At least 7 of them were his own flesh and blood. The coroner released their names, a total of 7 siblings and a cousin ranging in age from 3 to 11. Jayla, Shayla, Kayla, Layla, Markaden, Soraya, Kedarian, and Braylon. Neighbors mourn their deaths at the crime scene.
This is not a freaking joke. This is real, and this is the result when someone snaps.
Police are still trying to determine what motivated the shooting. The attack began before sunrise when police say the suspect shot a woman at one home and then drove to another house to unleash more violence.
The gray house is the house in which 7 children were located inside that were deceased. There was an additional deceased child that looked like he had tried to escape the residence out the back on the roof.
Officers say a second woman was shot and is believed to be the mother of the suspect's children. Both women are now in the hospital in critical condition. Officers fired at the suspect during a chase after he carjacked the vehicle at gunpoint. ABC News reporting the 31-year-old joined the Louisiana National Guard in 2013 and served 7 years without being deployed. The shooting took place in House Speaker Mike Johnson's district. He offered thoughts and prayers to the family. The shooting impacting people beyond Louisiana. The mayor of Shreveport highlighting that in his statement that reads in part, "Tragedy like this does not belong to one family alone. It belongs to all of us. Today, our community is grieving the unimaginable loss of innocent children. There are no words that can make sense of it and no distance that shields us from it."
Take out this evil out of our nation, out of our parish, out of our city, out of our lives, God. We know mental illness is real, God.
This attack considered one of the deadliest mass shootings in Louisiana. The community asking for prayers.
All right. So as you can see, he not only started out at one location, right? So he started out at one location, shot a woman, shot some people. Then he drove to a completely other location. One of the kids tried to escape and made it all the way to the roof. And he gunned them down, like hunted each person down and unalived them. Now, one of my subscribers from Louisiana has sent me in some posts. Let me go to my DM because she has sent me some stuff over. So let's look at this really quick. So this is the police chief basically going over the timeline of things. Let me pull this up.
About 5:55 a.m. on Sunday morning, Shreveport police received the first call regarding a disturbance at a residence in the 300 block of West 79th Street. The caller stated that they were on top of a house. The suspect was inside and that a male had been shot. 3 minutes later at 5:58, dispatch received an additional call indicating the suspect was a relative of the caller. A minute later, 5:59 a.m., dispatch was advised that approximately 9 individuals resided at the location. The caller further stated that the suspect, identified as Shamar Elkins, had shot everyone inside the home. At 6 o'clock a.m., 1 minute later, the caller advised that she and her children had fled from the roof and were now in the backyard. 6:01 a.m., officers arrived on the scene. 6:03, officers made contact with the caller at the residence. At 6:05 approximately, officers requested the Shreveport Fire Department to stage at a nearby location close to Linwood. 6:07 a.m., a second call was received regarding a shooting in the 500 block of Harrison Street. The caller stated that her boyfriend had shot her, taken her 3 children, and fled the scene. 6:08 a.m., the victim identified the suspect as Shamar Elkins. At 6:10, dispatch linked the Harrison Street shooting with the shooting on West 79th Street and that they all were related. At 6:15, officers received information that the suspect had carjacked a red Kia Sportage at West 79th, closest to Linwood. At 6:17 a.m., our traffic units out on random patrol encountered or observed that particular vehicle traveling southbound on Interstate 49. The officers advised at 6:18 that they were crossing the Red River Bridge into Bossier City. At 6:20, officers received information that the children taken from the Harrison Street residence may be inside of the fleeing vehicle. 6:23 a.m., officers advised that they were exiting near Swan Lake.
Can you imagine how scared and terrified those kids had to have been? He takes them from one location and he's being a complete madman. And they like, and that it's their dad.
Area. 6:25 a.m. approximately, officers located the injured victims from the Harrison Street shooting. 6:29 a.m., officers made contact with the suspect through an exchange of gunfire. At 6:30 a.m., officers confirmed contact with the suspect in the 400 block of Brompton Lane. 6:40 a.m., officers advised that the suspect vehicle was empty and no children were located inside. 6:43 a.m., officers cleared the residence of West 79th Street where multiple deceased victims were located. 7:03 a.m., Shamar Elkins was pronounced deceased at the scene on Brompton Lane. 7:14 a.m., the Shreveport Police Department contacted the Louisiana State Police Investigative Division, and they began their deployment to the Bossier City address to begin to investigate the officer-involved shooting. About 5:55 a.m. on Sunday morning.
All right, so that's the timeline Let me go through some of the other things that she sent me. All right, so somebody posted that, hold on. Let me open image and new tab. All right, so this is what my moderator sent me. It says the following. Hold on. All right, so it says Shamar Elkins was due in court on Monday in divorce proceedings. His wife was leaving him. These are his 8 kids he shot in the head while they were sleeping, plus his wife after shooting another woman in the area that he had kids with. 2 other kids escaped, made it out the house onto the roof. Shamar shot 1 kid right there on the roof. The other kid jumped off the roof and survived. All 8 kids in the pic are gone. The victims were 3 boys and 5 girls, according to Louisiana. Louisiana, hold on. Sorry, I had to move this up. All right. So it says, where was I at? Oh, okay. The victims were 3 boys and 5 girls, according to Louisiana Caddo Parish Coroner's Office. Shamar went to 2 different homes to carry out his crime spree, starting with the first woman, ending in police taking him out. Shamar's brother-in-law, Troy Brown, who lived with him, said Elkins' wife had recently sought a divorce. Brown said he was upset about it. He would tell me, bro, I don't want to lose my wife. Of course, unconscious men are going to jump in the comments and say not all men, da-da-da-da. So I guess according to this post, he is an angry bird who decided that if I can't have you, nobody can, and decided to take out not only the wife, but all of his children and a cousin.
Louisiana police.
Now, one of the fathers who lost a son in the Louisiana shooting has also spoken out, and let me show you guys what he had to say.
Say a gunman was targeting his own family when he opened fire over the weekend, killing 8 children. Authorities say the suspect killed 7 of his own children and one of their cousins, ranging from 3 to 11 years old. 2 women were also shot, including the gunman's wife, but they're expected to survive. At a press conference today, the Shreveport City Council chair had a direct message.
Domestic violence is nobody's joke. It is real, and these are the residual effects of what happens if we're not paying attention.
CBS News correspondent Jason Allen joins us now from Shreveport. Obviously, this is a horrific story. I know you've been reporting on it all day, but how do these events unfold with police ultimately shooting and killing the gunman?
Yeah, Lindsay, we've been out here. The memorial kind of been building in front of the house continues to be very busy here in the neighborhood with people wanting to come see this scene and drop off cars, memorabilia, talk to family. All the children were killed here at this house, but this is not where the shooting started. It was actually about a block or so away. That is where Elkins shot the mother of at least 3 of his children in the face. He told her at the time that her children were already dead. They weren't, because then he came here to this house. This is where he shot all 8 of those children, shot his wife. There was another woman and another girl who got away. Elkins, after that, went down to the corner, carjacked someone, led police on a chase to neighboring Bossier City. That's where he got out of the car and police shot and killed him. Just an overwhelming sequence of events. And just here in the last hour or so, I talked to the father of the one child that was not Elkins' child, a 10-year-old boy. Here's what the father had to tell me.
I'm never going to get to throw the football with him again. I'm never going to get to hear him say, Daddy, can I get this bag of chips? I'm never going to get to hear my nieces say, Gunkle, can I get a nana? Gunkle, you going to work? Gunkle, are you okay? I'm never going to hear that again.
Troy Brown's wife and daughter were the two who escaped. They were injured jumping off the roof to get away. They're being treated at the hospital, and they are expected to survive their injuries.
What motive have authorities come up with so far?
You know, authorities have talked about this as a domestic dispute. I talked today with Elkin's wife, or one of the women Elkin shot her in the nose, in the face. He told her, "You caused this." She doesn't know what that means. I've talked to several members of family on both sides. They say that it's possible that Elkin's wife had indicated that she wanted a divorce in recent days, and there may have even been some effort to finalize that request as soon as today. They also told me Elkins had struggled with mental health. He knew that he had sought treatment recently, that they had talked to him about it. Those seem to be the only indications that might offer any sort of answers as to why something this.
All right. So, the news basically confirming that it had something to do with her leaving his dusty ass. It's crazy. So let me see another post she sent me. Okay, we already seen that. Let's see. All right, and then the ages of the kid, the youngest one was 3. So it went from 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, and another 6 and a 5-year-old. Another post is saying that he got caught cheating. Hold on, I'm just now looking through these posts that she sent me. So this right here is a post that somebody posted, I guess, out there. And it says, so this N-word shot his girlfriend on Harrison Street 8 times, then went and shot his wife and kids because he got caught cheating by the wife. Shaking my head. And don't come asking me where I got that from. Just know. All right, so this person is alleging that the woman that he shot first was his girlfriend, and then the woman that he shot second was his wife. Which would explain why it was 3 kids in one location and then the wife and some more kids at another location. Just ludicrous, like completely insane. Completely insane. Let me see what else she sent me. Insanity. Let me try to pull up that post. Let's see. Quanish Key. Let me see if I could pull that one up, because she just sent me screenshots. But let me see if I could pull up the actual post. Quanish Key. Let's see. Because sometimes, you know, the information be in the comments. So let's see if we can. Quanish Key. All right. Okay, so. All right, so this is that post that I just read to y'all. And then somebody saying that they were the family is in the comments. So let's see. It says, everyone, please keep my family in your prayers. And then this person says, was the husband cheating? And then this person said, this is a wild comment. People are crazy. Somebody said, I seen a couple people say they served him. They served with him in the military. Another person says, I heard she filed for divorce. Another person says, I don't think the part about the girlfriend and her baby on Harrison Street is factual. There's no credible news source stating that part. Only on 79th Street with the 2 moms and their babies. Of course, the chase into Bossier is factual. Another person says, I said that either he was caught cheating with a lady or a man, but he definitely was cheating. Another person says, I'm trying to see if we get any more information in the comments. Let's see if he posts anything declarious. Because he say he the family. And he done made an official statement. Let me see what he done posted. It says, "Attention Shreveport, this is my official statement. I am dropping out the race for..." Oh. What? He talking about something else. A race. What is he? Oh, he's a blogger? I don't know. He said that's his family. I don't know. Let me look and search something else. What was the guy's name? Hold on. Let me find the dad's name to search him. Dad killed 8 children. What is his name? Let me look up his name. Shamar Elkins. Okay, they say he had mental health problems. Let's look up Shamar Elkins. All of these ads on these websites is ridiculous. Like, good Lord. All right, so this is the New York Post, the California Post. What? Hold on. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right, so this is the New York Post, but I guess this is their California department. So it says, All right, so it says, Louisiana killer dash Shamar Elkins' possible murder revealed after slaughtering 8 kids.
So we determined that this was a domestic call in nature. The responding officers located a crime scene here in the 300 block of West 79th Street, and this is a rather extensive crime scene spanning between 2 residences here. There is also another residence on Harrison Street that is part of this crime scene as well. Right now we have at least 10 individuals that were struck by gunfire last night in a domestic disturbance. 8 of these individuals are deceased. The ranges of the decedents are from 1 year of age to approximately 14 years of age. The individual responsible, once leaving this scene, performed a carjacking right here in close proximity to the corner of West 79th and Linwood, at which point in time Shreveport Police Patrol officers got behind that vehicle and a chase ensued. The vehicle was chased into...
All right, so the New York Post is also reporting about this divorce filing. So apparently, according to this website, it says that they had only been married for 2 years. So it says the maniac who slaughtered 7 of his children and one of their cousins in Louisiana on Sunday was set to do battle with his estranged wife in divorce court Monday. It says stress-riddled Army vet Shamar Elkins, 31, called his mom, Mahalia Elkins, and stepdad, Marcus Jackson, on Easter Sunday to tell them that his wife of 2 years, Shaniqua, had filed for divorce, chillingly adding that he wanted to kill himself and he was drowning in dark thoughts. So I guess originally a plan to self-delete, but then decided to cowardly take everybody out. It says Jackson said he told his despondent stepson that he could overcome problems if he stood tough. So it says, this is a photo of the killer Shamar Elkins and his wife Shaniqua. And it says they were embroiled in an ugly divorce when the massacre took place. Elkins replied grimly, some people don't come back from their demons. And that is what the stepdad is telling the New York Post. It says the killer then ended up shooting the 8 children execution style Sunday morning. He also turned his gun on his his wife, and she was hit several times in the head and stomach. And the woman believed to be his girlfriend, Christina Snow, who was shot in the head. Ken identified Snow as the girlfriend. So the New York Post is confirming that it was a situation between the girlfriend and the wife. All right. So this is the New York Post posting this right here, and they are getting statements from the family. It says the wife was hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. Officials say Snow also was severely wounded. Elkins had 2 previous convictions for driving while intoxicated in 2016, for the illegal use of weapons in 2019. In March of 2019, a police report detailed that the National Guard vet pulled a 9mm handgun from his waistband and shot at a vehicle 5 times after a driver pulled a handgun on him, with one of Elkins' bullets being discovered near a school where children were playing. It says, he also had a history of alluding to mental health struggles and marriage woes on Facebook. Dear God, today I ask you to help me guard my mind and my emotions. When negativity arises, remind me to say it does not belong to me. In the name of Jesus, Elkins wrote April 9th. It says a month earlier, he wrote on the social network, dads, if you could go back in time and have kids with a different woman, but still have the same kids, would you do it? The victims killed by Elkins have been identified. It says 7 of the 8 were his own children, and the 8th was a cousin. Now, let's find his social media. So they have posts of his Facebook. Let's find his Facebook. Hold on. Let me look for his Facebook. Let's look for his Facebook. People. What is his Facebook under? No, let's go to her Facebook. Does she have a Facebook? Maybe she tagged him. Let's go to the mama's Facebook. Let's see if mama's always got their real name. Oh my God, look at how he looks. Look at him. He look crazy. He look crazy. Anyways, let me try to find the mom page I gotta try to find his page real quick. Because let's try to. Okay. This gotta be the mama. Does she show her friends? Where the stepdaddy? What's the stepdaddy name? No, Shaniqua. Let's go here. Let me try to find. I found the mama page, but hold on, let me go through her pictures. Ooh. Let's see if he commented. Oh, here go Marcus. Here go the husband, my beautiful wife. Okay, we found the stepdaddy. not? I know you ain't talking like this and you like 60 or 70. He says, so now Mahalia is the baddest bitch I ever had and still have. Thought it was me, but she had some input. Marcus, you too old to be talking like this. But this is his page. He scrubbed his page. Okay, here we go. Found him. You always gotta go down the rabbit hole. I knew you know what I'm saying? This is what I do. Now, we found his page. This is the guy's page. I found him through the stepdaddy. All right. So this is him, and this is actually his cover photo with him and all the children. And on April 17th, this is what he posted. And it says, LOL, took my oldest on a little one-on-one date. Had to catch her down bad. And so this is him with his kid in the car. All right, so let's go down his page. On April 9th, he posted a scripture, and it says, Dear God, today I ask you to help me guard my mind and my emotions. When negativity arises, remind me to say, it does not belong to me in the name of Jesus. Help me remember that there is power in your name and that every force not from you must flee. When depression tries to settle in, when anger rises, when anxiety or panic comes, give me the awareness, the recognition, what is not from you, and the strength to reject it immediately. So that is a post. Now on Easter, he posted, Happy Easter, had a wonderful time at church for the first time with all my kids. What a blessed day. So this is him and all of the children on Easter. All right. On March 11th, he said, understand to be misunderstood. Another post, it says, shout out to every man who's fixing his life alone. No rich relatives, no favors, no dads, no money. So this is like a repost that he did. Then this is the repost that the news had posted. So this is where he reposted. And it says, dads, if you could go back in time and have kids with a different woman, but still have the same kids, would you do it? And then so he reposted and he said, hell yeah, I would. All right. So then it says on February 13th, it says, yeah, LOL, nah, it was a good time last night. Personally, I do not like them, no taste. Are they eating like a seafood boil or something? And so that's all the posts that are public. That's odd he must have posted, he knew what he was doing, child. He definitely premeditated this because all that he has like visible on his page is his kids. I'm pretty sure that this ain't the only thing he posted on his social media. But the only thing that's public that you can see and that you can click on is his kids. So it's post about his kids, post referencing, certain stuff, but everything else is not it's not public. So this is the last public post. There's nothing like him posting about himself, him posting about just like a random day. He only has things visible about the children. So he definitely knew what he was doing and scrubbed this Instagram page. He has his friends visible, but the photos that he only has these 3 pictures that you can see. And his cover photo, it says that he has 21 pictures, but this is the only one that is popping up. And yeah, so he definitely knew what he was doing, and he took the coward way out instead of just taking himself out. If you couldn't deal with the fact that she was leaving you, then you should have just took your own self out and left them precious babies to live their lives. Like, you should not have taken all of them out. Like, I guess he felt like if I'm out, we all out. Like, I brung them in this world, I'm gonna take everybody out with me. Like, I don't know what type of doofus mentality that was, but it's so unfortunate that these precious babies who are innocent, have nothing to do with his community ping going between one girl or another, or his issues in his head, like, have nothing to do with any of that. They hadn't even really officially started their lives yet. They still, many of them barely just now being of age enough to go to like regular school. And before they can even get their lives started, their purpose, their journey, whatever, this fool decides, because he can't handle and navigate his emotions, that he's going to take them out. Despicable. So, so this is that. This was sent in to me. Such a sad situation. My condolences go out to the family, the mom. I know that, like, not only is all of her children deceased, but he shot her in the face. So she survived, but by all accounts, her life is never going to be the same. She has to live with the fact that now that she was able to survive, I'm sure her face, is not the same. Imagine getting shot in your face, and she was shot in her body. You survive, but your kids, your 7 kids, are no longer here. And I don't know if all 7 kids were hers, the wives. It sounded like they were split between 2 women. But your kids are not here, but you're here. You're not who you were. Your kids are not here. Like, how does a mom go on with life like that? And he shot both women, okay? Like, he shot both women in the face. And both women were able to survive, but he went and shot them both in the face. They both survived. They have to live with the fact that they survived this tragedy. And as a mom, your job is to protect your kids. So they're going to have that guilt of not being able to protect their kids. And then the people who were in the house, it was 2 people that they said were in the house, got on the roof, jumped down off the roof and survived. They're also going to have the guilt of, I was able to get away, but I wasn't able to save this person or that person or whatever. So they're also going to live with the trauma. It's so much trauma that all of these people are going to have to endure for the rest of their lives, because one nut job couldn't just go off into the forest and just off his own fucking self and leave everybody else alone. Like, unfortunate, sad situation, truly heartbreaking, ridiculous. And it's like, when you get with guys and you notice that they aren't right and you want to leave, it's like, you really truly have to have a safe exit plan, because these men are not well. And a lot of black men were mad at Ashley Janae because she made the statement that, black men are embarrassment or whatever. But you really have to question whether or not, like, relationships are safe at all. Like, you see that the relationships aren't safe with white men, and you see that relationships aren't safe with black men. And that's not to say all black men, because we are not a monolith, but you see so many stories back to back to back to back, you wonder, like, is it even safe to date? Not only is it hard to date overall, just because of the climate that we're in, social media, all of those things, but like, is dating risking your life these days? Like, so many stories that have happened in this month alone of people being unalived by their partners. And it's not just, black women dating a white man, or, you know what I mean? It's women overall having these situations where these men are taking them out. And it's just sad. It's like, what do we need to do as a community? I feel like therapy doesn't get talked about enough. There is so much going on in the world, okay? Like, I went to the gas station and gas for my car was like way too much. Like, since I've had my car, it's always been about a $40 holler to fill up. When gas is doing good, it's like a $30 holler. But on average, it's like $40, $45. I went to the gas station. It was $72 to fill up my car, to fill up my tank. We are above $6 in certain places here in California. But not only that, you have inflation going on. You have groceries that are through the roof. You have people who paid for their houses, right? You have people who literally worked for a living. They paid their houses, and then inflation came. So now their property taxes are through the roof. They have these AI plants that are plopping up in people's communities that is creating people's electric bills to go through the roof. You have electric bills at an all-time high. You have food at an all-time high. You have gas at an all-time high. And then you have people who work their lives to secure their homes, who can't even afford homes that they fully paid for, because now the property value or the property tax is going up and they can't afford it. There's so much going on that is stressful for everybody. And I feel like there needs to be a lot more therapy to mitigate everything that's going on in the world, because we are in unprecedented times. We have this war going on. We have, like, racism is at an all-time high. People ain't even hiding the fact that they're racist anymore. They just like feeling like, child, I'm a Karen in it, and so what about it? Like, there's no fear in that. Like, normally people, if they were against a certain group, they would talk amongst, like their friends, or, they would secretly get exposed. Now they just out with it. There's literally podcasts and YouTubers dedicated to being racist against groups. Like, all time madness all over. And you have all of these situations that are constantly happening, left, right. People are literally losing their minds. Okay? They're literally losing their minds due to the state of the world that we're in right now. It's so much going on. And I think that, we really, really, really need to lean on therapy a lot more to navigate some of these feelings, some of these emotions, because it's a lot. And that's not an excuse to kill and murder 8 kids. Absolutely not. You need to, if you want to off something, off yourself. However, all I'm saying is there has to be some type of common ground that we have. Like, even me as a YouTuber, I've been cursing a lot of people out lately. Okay? But it's like, we got the weight of the world, and then it's like all this group thinking, all of this, like, people used to be like, when people used to make comments a lot of people like they used to exercise, you know, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all type of thing, right? Or it used to be like, okay, if a person got posted on a blog and it wasn't the actual person's page, you know, people would like say however they feel because it's not under that person's direct page. Now people will literally go to your page, just they having a bad day, so then they want to piss on your parade. And they just like the comments recently that I be getting, it just be off the wall, and it just be like, who are you talking to? But then, you know, I get upset and I start arguing, and you know, they banging their keys and I'm banging mine back. But then you really have to like take yourself out and like realize, like, I don't know this person on the other end. I don't know if they living in filth. I don't know if this person is miserable because they can't pay their rent this month. I don't know if this person is, you know, coming at me sideways because, you know, they can't afford gas. And I done got online saying something that they don't like. So it's like, bitch, fuck you. You know what I mean? The comments are a war zone these days. And I don't really be helping too much because I be tussling back. But I'm just trying to, like, you know, just even for myself, like, girl, you don't know what these people is going through. You don't know them. You don't know what they're going through. They might be living in a house packed up with filth and rats and roaches, and you know what I mean? They may live in a neighborhood where they got a duck all day, and you know, and they get online and they just want to be entertained, and then here you go giving your strong opinions. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to realize that it's a lot going on. So even myself, I gotta try to like be better at even some of my responses, but a lot of people be having me fucked up. You know what I mean? But it's like, girl, just realize that you don't know what this person is going through. You know, yeah, they got you fucked up. Yeah, they talking out their neck. Yeah, they talking sideways. But, you know, even me, I need to do better at responding to some of this stuff. You know what I mean? And then the situation with the singer David, that situation is crazy. He's being held with no bail. Allegedly, Celeste allegedly confronted him because she was gonna out the fact that he had been dealing with her since she was 13. And supposedly that's the reason why he offed her, so that he can continue to be a musician. We'll definitely talk about that in a separate video, but it's a lot going on. It's sad and tragic these days. Somebody said that's very mature of Unique. Well, thank you. I'm mature today. Now, again, you know, it be certain comments where I be feeling like, who the f is you talking to? But I had to realize that, girl, like, relax a little bit. Relax. Relax. Okay? Relax. I seen one of my videos and I was looking back at my video and I was like, oof, girl, you was a little hot, girl. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. So, you know. So yeah. I just wanted to make sure that I came here and talk to y'all, tapped in with y'all. And I'm not gonna lie, for the last, let me say, week or so, my hair, like, I have been basically throwing on wigs under like some braids, right? So like all last week I had some like old braids that needed to come out. So I would just throw on a wig, throw on a hat, throw on a wig, throw on a hat. And so today I'm like, girl, do your hair. So yesterday I washed my hair, comb my hair out, blow dry my hair. And then today, I actually did my hair. I'm not going to hold you. Once I braided my hair down so I could put my little V-part wig on and flat iron my hair and laid my edge down, I said, I really don't feel like doing no commentary. Child. I'm like, I don't really feel like doing no commentary. But I decided to let me just make a video because let me tell you, my subscribers don't be playing. Ashley Review do not be playing. She like, girl, Neek, where the video? Where the video? Unforgettable, like, girl, like, hello, we waiting to see what you got to say about David. We waiting to see what you got to say about this. We waiting to see what you got to say about that. So shout out to them. And matter of fact, I thought that Ashley was a moderator. Hold on. I don't know why. Video. I don't know why I don't say that she's a moderator. Anyways, all right, boom. But yeah, so doing hair is a job. Yes, it's a whole thing. And once I did my hair, I was like, phew, I don't even feel like this at all. But I came through. I'm going to try to continue to be on it. All right, I'm gonna try to continue to knock these topics out. And if you guys have any stories that y'all want me to cover, definitely send it over. I have to still go over that guy